Your audio and video source featuring Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. This is Edge of Indy. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Let's get today's conversation started.
All right, hey, welcome back to Edge of Indy. I'm your host, Aaron Sparks. If you haven't been seeing Edge of Indy before, let me tell you what it's about. Actually, before anything else, let me introduce another member of our team. This is Brittany Harness. Brittany Harness is our digital marketing strategist over here at Site Strategics. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Edge of Indy is focused on local Indianapolis entrepreneurs and innovators, marketing, new ideas, trending topics that are happening around the city. We feature on growth, great business opportunities, creative agencies, the tech scene, a lot of focus on the cultural scene of Indianapolis. And it's really about what's happening in the world of business as well as charity in Indianapolis. So it's really, to sum it all up, it's about learning about local and choosing local. That's what Edge of Indy is all about. So thanks for joining us today. Again, we've got Brittany Harness on deck here, and I appreciate you as a co-host today.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome. Hey, we wanted to introduce to you somebody that is moving and is shaking here in Indy as well, and this is Brittany Smith, another Brittany.
Yeah, it's a Brittany sandwich.
I'm flanked by Brittany's today. And they wanted to call me Brittany at some point in time on the show, and I flat out vetoed that. So, Brittany, you're a foodie, and you're also from a pretty well-known organization. That's Yelp.
Yes, that's right. I am. I have been with Yelp for 5 years as their community director and celebrating all things local.
Oh, fantastic! And that's honestly what we need regularly for Indianapolis. There's so many unspoken, great companies, organizations, charities, and restaurants.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. I feel very privileged that I spend every day trying to explore the city, find new businesses, and then get to share their stories. It's really rewarding.
Fantastic. Well, what's the craziest thing that you've ever eaten in your life?
Oh my gosh. Well, one memory that comes to mind would have to be the chicken feet at Szechuan Garden, which is a really popular Chinese dish. No matter how many times I try it or as a cultural experience, I can't get past the texture, but I will try it once, everything once.
What's the last restaurant that you dined here in Indianapolis, and what did you order?
Yeah. One of my new favorites has to be, this actually isn't a typical restaurant, it's a bakery, Mama Ina's Mexican Bakery,
Ooh.
38th and Lafayette, actually Georgetown. It is a beautiful business. You walk in, you get a tray, you walk around the entire bakery and load up your tray with different Mexican delights.
Oh, boy.
And the rice pudding is delicious. I can't get enough of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Backing up, let me go to the 15,000-foot level. Tell me about Yelp Indianapolis. Tell me about the initiative of Yelp to be able to tie into cities such as ours.
Yeah, so Yelp has local representatives in every city across the country.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 100 people who do my job throughout North America and big cities. And then I actually have a team of 8 of us here that are representing local businesses through events, through our newsletter, through media.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, we are so busy with just our small little team. In April, we're going to be having 11 different events. They're all free events to get people in local businesses, ranging from learning how coffee is made with a local coffee roastery to sampling spirits with a new distillery. Every day is very different, and it's very exciting.
Yum.
Great addition.
That was the best contribution of the entire show right there. Well,
Every 5 minutes, throw that in there.
So Yelp has a latest list, and that's the top 50 places to eat in Indiana. So tell us a little bit more about the methodology that goes into creating this list.
Yeah, that's a very important part of it. So we actually have our team of engineers pull the data, specifically businesses that fall into categories of a business that you can get a full meal. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's only a restaurant. Like, for instance, Porter Books and Bread, which is out at Fort Bend.
Yeah.
You wouldn't typically call it a restaurant. It's a bookstore, coffee shop, but they actually serve lunch there, and it falls into that category.
Gotcha.
Throughout the entire state is how they pulled it. And then also looking at how quickly and how high rated reviews were coming in for those businesses, so that it gives a chance for new businesses as well. It's not just the old ones that we all know over and over again. It has a really good mix with this list, and I'm really excited about the cultural diversity too. That's you're finding.
Well, how do you break down that list as far as newcomers to the list?
Yeah. So I would say probably 10 to 15 of the businesses have opened in the last year to two out of the 50. For instance, Festiva, Vita in the Lockerbie area, Omani, a Korean restaurant in Carmel. Those are all some of the newer ones. So in the past year, they're rocking 5-star reviews, and they've found their way on the list.
Your
along
weekends
with
must be
classics.
fantastic.
They are, and my weekdays.
Oh my God. Yeah. Whoa, wow.
How many
wow.
meals a day do you eat out?
Well, tonight actually is a good example. Tonight we're doing a progressive dinner date. So an appetizer at one place. We pick 3
No
businesses.
way.
We have bookmarked on Yelp. My friends and I, this is our monthly date. And it's all businesses we haven't been to. So we do one for appetizers, one for entree, one for dessert. And we hit 3 new businesses in one night.
Very cool.
And see if we can roll home at the end of the night.
Well, very cool. So what about the different types of cuisines? I mean, there's a lot of differentiation out there. How does
Definitely.
Indianapolis look from different types and different ethnics?
Yeah. So I think something that people were surprised by the list was
Yep.
finding that 20 of them were minority-owned businesses out of
Fantastic.
50, which I'm very excited about.
Absolutely.
I think people think of Indiana as a meat and potatoes kind of state, but when you really dig a little deeper, you're going to find that, for instance, on this list, you have Turkish cuisine, you have Korean cuisine, all different types of Mexican cuisine. We even have a Vietnamese restaurant in Fort Wayne that made the list.
Oh, cool.
So there is a lot of diversity, and I really want to hit home those stories as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, how can we help you?
Oh, man. I really want people to explore and check out the list and actually give it a try. Go try some new places. I know some people were like, well, there were classics we expected to be on the list. I encourage them to look at it as an opportunity. Like, I have it printed off and it's hanging on my fridge, and I'm going to hit these 50
check it
restaurants.
off. Yeah.
That's right. I think take it as a challenge that you have some places to still explore in Indiana. I think that's a good thing to see.
You must have the best job in the world, I think.
Right?
I'm really
So I'm
thinking.
still here.
Yeah, how does somebody get to be one of these Yelp critiques?
Do you need an apprentice?
Yeah, that's right. There are only
do it for
so many
free.
of us. That's right. That's why my team keeps growing. We want to be on the same team together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So you can go check out Yelp Indy. You can go to Facebook and search for Yelp Indy, Twitter at Yelp Indy, Instagram at Yelp Indy, and share your posts, because sharing is caring.
That's right.
And the only way to get the word out, not even the only way, but a great way is to focus on Yelp and really share what Yelp Indy is doing out in Indianapolis, because you're certainly understanding the need for Lyft, because a lot of these restaurants don't get the word out nearly as much as they should.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, I think a lot of them are doing a great job of using free tools that
Sure.
there are now with social media. So, for instance, I recommend if you're going to go check out these businesses, leave them a review on Yelp so that more people are finding them. I think people are amazed
Absolutely.
at how many people are traveling through Indiana and using Yelp to find local businesses. So it's not just for fellow Hoosiers; it's for anyone that's rolling through our town.
Plus, we're all taking pictures of our foods just naturally anyway, so why not
Upload it and share
actually
it.
utilize
Yes.
those wisely instead of just having them on
That's
your
right,
phone or
not just-
sending it to your mom. Mom, look what I'm eating. Like, look how
Exactly.
pretty it is. I mean,
It can go to
So
thousands of
literally
people.
taking a picture and then tagging Yelp Indy on Instagram.
Or putting it on their Yelp page. That's what I would
Yeah.
recommend first, because it's
Got it.
easier to find when you're going, let's say, to Bosphorus's Yelp page. You can find, okay, what are the top dishes people recommend here? Looking at the
Absolutely.
photos.
Absolutely.
Photos are a top tool.
Oh, yeah. You got to centralize
Yes.
everything. So for
right.
centralization needs, go to yelp.com/Indianapolis -IN-US. And you could certainly, I mean,
Or you
honestly,
can just go to yelp.com and search the city. It's a lot easier than that.
fine. Or you can just Yelp in Indianapolis, and Google will make it all easy for you, right?
they'll get you there.
Right.
All right, where we're going to be interviewing a number of the restaurants that
Yes.
made the list here today. So everybody who's watching the stream, we are live on Facebook. Make sure you share and tag some of the restaurants that are on the show today, because we certainly want to get the word out and get new diners to these restaurants. The whole point is to be
Right.
able to share this information and tap some of your friends' shoulders as
Yes.
well on social media. You know who you are. You're all on there right now. So come on, get on the stream and be able to share the love here. So we're going to take a break here, and we're going to focus on a commitment that we made last week with the Indy Humane organization here in Indy. This is the weekly Friend of the Edge. Check this out.
everybody.
Next guy.
This is Winks at Indy Humane. He's a special guy that we got transferred in from our city shelter because he needed some medical care. You can see that he's wearing this little cone to protect his eyes. So Winks had a condition called entropion, and he had it in both eyes. And in this condition, the outside of the eyelid, the part with the fur, rolls inward, and so the fur rubs on the eyes. It causes a lot of pain. It can cause infection. It can cause loss of sight and other issues like that. It is correctable with surgery, and he has already had that here. And he's getting some medicated eye drops as well in order to help him heal. He also came in with some pretty patchy fur and skin, so we're addressing that as well. Winks is one of our special medical sponsorship animals, and if you're interested in helping him, the cost of his surgery and his care is about $300, so we're trying to raise that in medical sponsorship funds. And you can donate online at indyhumane.org/medical sponsorship. And help this little guy with his treatment. So hope you all have a great day, and Winks says thank you.
All right, so that's the first of many Friends of the Edge that we want to bring to you from Edge of Indy. We had on our show last week Indy Humane and Your Image Works, and they did a great charitable run for the story of the 23 Chihuahuas that got surrendered to Indy Humane, and we certainly learned that there was a lot more that they need from help, medical treatment with the animals that they have there. So this is our challenge to you, corporate as well as private citizens, is to be able to give back. And I mean, literally all they're looking for is a $300 donation to raise for his surgery and subsequent care. I mean, be a friend of Winks and let Indy Humane know that you heard it on the Edge. Go over to edgeofindy.com/Indy-Humane, and that will launch you over to exactly where you need to go on their donation page. So sponsor. You don't have to adopt them, although you should think about it because they got a lot of pets, a lot of animals there that need homes. And we're going to constantly give you some great information about these little guys that need your help. So go over to edgeofindy.com/Indy-Humane and let us know that you're sponsoring the medical treatment for Wink. All right. So we have our number one on Yelp's top 50 places to eat in Indiana. We have the Bosphorus Cafe. Orhan Demirtas is the owner, and we want to welcome him to the show. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. I want to go to your restaurant right now, just by hearing all the good reviews and everything that you're doing over there. Can we just go right now?
Yes, let's
Please?
go.
Can we go on the road?
Too messy right now. Wait until the dinner time.
Give him an hour.
We had a very big rush lunch.
Got it. Well, tell us about yourself and your restaurant.
Okay, my name is Orhan Demirtas, and I am from Turkey originally, and I studied in the college tourism and hotel management, which is related to my business, and then I came here 2002, October 7. I never forget it.
Oh my gosh.
But when I came here, the previous owner of the restaurant was my friend from the college. And then I was a server over there. I used to work as a server 4 years, and then I own it.
Yep.
And I'm still there.
Oh, that is a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, what kind of food are we experiencing over at Bosphorus Cafe?
People mostly doesn't know about the Turkish food, and then they say, "What is Turkish food like that?" I always explain very simple way they can picture it. I say combination of the Middle East, Greek, and Mediterranean. If you see that these items, you can see all this item in my menu too.
Really?
But better. I always say that.
So your restaurant was voted #1 this year.
I didn't believe it.
What a fantastic honor. In what ways do you think your restaurant is unlike others in Indiana?
What is the difference, you mean? I always say, I am not fake. Okay, when the customer comes, I always give my hospitality with my heart. I talk with them, I joke with them, I flirt with them. Yeah.
It's true.
Even the last week, there was a one lady. She was 70 years old, and then we were talking, and then I was flirting with her, and she said, "Do you know I am a gold digger?" She said that.
Wow.
I said, "Well, yeah, like
Get to reel it back a little bit.
I said, yeah, a little bit back. Like I remember them. I try to remember their name, where they sit, what they eat.
Absolutely.
I make them VIP. This is
So
very
it's really
important.
like you're inviting them into your home. I mean, you
Right,
treat them like
right.
like family.
Hospitality is very important. Like you can give the best food of the world, but if you don't give them the hospitality and then good friendship, they're not gonna come back. But if you have a good friendship, even if you have a something mistake, your smiley face is gonna cover it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's certainly, there's so many restaurants in Indianapolis, but everyone in this room remembers those restaurants that really treated them like that and had a personal connection. And literally, sometimes that's more important than the food itself, is be able to have that camaraderie, because you're spending time, you're giving of your time to be able to attend a restaurant and be able to have that level of personality. It's just fantastic. Now you couple it with some really good food as well, you've got a fantastic win. So what advice would you give? Because you've done something very, very unique. I mean, being able to actually work at the restaurant and then ultimately purchase the restaurant. What advice would you give to someone who's looking to open a restaurant in Indianapolis?
Like what kind of advice? First of all, I always say, if your wife cooks really good, don't think you can open the restaurant. Some people start the business like this. They say, "Oh, my wife is cooking really good, I can open the restaurant." No. Like a restaurant business is really tough business.
Yes, sir.
You have to love it. If you don't love it, you cannot handle it all. Even
Absolutely.
if you wake up the morning, if I say, "Ugh, am I going again?" You cannot give the smiley face to your customer, or you can give the smiley face, but fake face. You have to love it. You have to love the people. You have to love to talk with them.
Right.
And then you have to know how to solve their problems and make them happy. You can make a mistake. Everybody can mistake. But the important thing is how you cover your mistake. Give them something. Make them happy.
So, I mean, it is tough. It is one of the toughest industries to ever go into.
It is not easy to make the people happy.
And just handling the constant movement of clientele. And I mean, you can have a passion for food, but you could also not be able to do anything inside of in the restaurant business. And I'm sure you've seen a number of restaurants fail that have tried, that just didn't know how to execute the actual business side of things, right?
It's like your kid. You have to be always over there and then watch what is going on, what they do.
Yep.
First, you like it, and then give the customers. That is very important. When you look at it, if you don't like it, customer's not going to like it either. You have to like it. You have to confirm it, and then serve to your customers.
And along the same line, you have to do what you love here, and you got to love providing this type of cuisine and this type of environment, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good flavor.
So what does your let me ask you about, so your how have reviews affected your business over the years?
Yelp is one of the very important page for the people who comes out of the state,
Right.
or who this is the person never been in my restaurant. Because when the people come, advertising is not really like a people thinks about this real. Like everybody can put advertising, and then you can write whatever you want.
Right.
But real advertising is the word of the mouth, what the people say. It's very natural.
Absolutely.
And then if you want to go to the restaurant, just look at the people, what they say.
Absolutely.
Because everything is coming from their inside experience. And then if they say good, it means something is special over there. And then let's go and try. And then most of my customers like this.
Right.
They say we are out of Indianapolis is a very convention city. A lot of people is coming out of the states. And then when they come,
Right.
and then they look at, Bosphorus, let's read it. And then if they say a lot of 5 stars, and then they go and then try.
So if we could, let's go ahead and bring up the Yelp review real quick, and then and just have a look at how it's represented there. Fantastic reviews, lots of 5 stars there, and
Don't show the 1 star.
oh well, sorry. we as a team will go fix that for you.
It's obviously clearing.
200.
It really well.
Did I say that correct? 272 reviews there.
Yeah, that sounds
You're
right.
doing a lot right.
I can't
People
read it
use
from
the
here.
internet to complain about things, not so much to get on there and say good things. So you must be doing a lot right to get all
Absolutely.
those reviews.
Yeah, I pay them.
No, he does not.
He's joking.
Take
He's
it back,
joking.
Orhan.
Edge of India did not sanction the comments made on this show. No. Fantastic reviews. And can we also have a look at the website? Excellent. So on the website, we've got a lot of the menu items, a number of the different food images itself, right?
It's supposed to open.
Yep. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that.
And you're able to make a reservation on there too, which is nice.
Excellent.
Supposed to there is a video, but I don't know. It's not.
Well, certainly go check it out. I just want to make sure our listeners check out the site as well. So your website is
BosphorusCafe.us.
.us. Go check that out. Also go over to the Yelp listing for Bosphorus Cafe, and your location is again.
935 South East Street.
Okay.
Just cross street of the Eli Lilly headquarters.
Oh, very good.
Everybody knows the Eli
Oh yeah,
Lilly.
they're
That's what-
we're literally right down the street.
I know. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, very close, very close, very close.
Falafel party.
Tomorrow at lunchtime.
There it is. Oh boy, see,
Making my reservation.
I get myself into trouble on this show. I really do.
Just email me.
There you go. You've got an in.
Any recommendation of? Oh, I know you have a number of great food items. What would you recommend for guests that hear the show and are coming over? And
When my first customers come, if they a little bit scared, of course, like what they gonna eat, and mostly they say, let's start with the simple chicken kebab, because everybody knows the chicken, and then they started, and then they like the flavor. But
Yep.
I always suggest the kebabs with the beef and lamb, like Adana
Yes.
kebab. Like,
sorry, I literally just drilled on my
yeah,
microphone. I'm sorry.
Doner kebab is a gyro,
Yeah.
Iskender.
Yeah,
Or you can go with the mixed kebab, and then you can try a little bit everything.
excellent.
What we see right now. For example, this one is the Sultan's Delight on the left one.
Yeah.
Top corner is a stuffed cabbage, and the bottom part is a beiti kebab.
All right, I got a question for you, and this is completely selfish. What kind of low carb, no carbohydrate dishes do you have?
And then you can say no rice, double salad.
Done.
That is
know.
what
Just
I
like
can
that.
do by my best.
Ordering now.
Yes, I literally do think we have to go down there. I'm getting myself very, very hungry right now. All right, well, any final thoughts you want to leave the audience who are listening and want to come down? Are there any parking issues? Everything's
No,
fine?
everybody's like very available, like quiet street. You can park behind of my restaurant, front or side.
Cool.
I always say don't park top, other than everything's okay.
And you're very responsive on Facebook. So if people want to find you, they should look you up on Facebook because you are
Right.
very responsive there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir. It's great to hear your story.
You're welcome.
And continued success. We'll certainly watch from afar as well as very, very close because we will be visiting soon. That's Bosphorus Cafe, and check them out on Yelp. And go choose local.
Just go.
Just go. All right, coming up, we're going to be talking to Kaplinger's Fresh Catch and Cuts. I'm sorry, I tripped over my words there. Kaplinger's is a fantastic fish store. So we're going to be talking to Nick Kaplinger coming up right after this. All right, hey, back to Edge of Indy again, and we are jumping into another focus with a great restaurant here in Indy. That's Kaplinger's Fresh Catch and Cuts. What in the world's
Not
happening?
fresh cats. There are no fresh cats.
No fresh cats. Sorry, Indy Humane. Oh, God. Kaplinger's Fresh Catch and Cuts. Nick Kaplinger, thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, been in the seafood business about 38 years.
Fantastic.
Probably the most of anybody here in Indianapolis. Started in, the retail supermarket and things like that, and just
Right.
been in the wholesale seafood business. Used to wholesale to the restaurants and so on. And
Cool.
then my son and I have been in the retail seafood business and restaurant business for quite a few years, even more than the Kaplinger's has been around. We had a place called 56th Street Fish Market for
Yeah, absolutely.
16 years
I
here in
remember that
Indy.
place. Yep.
And we like to think we're the first and last word in seafood in Indianapolis.
38 years.
Yeah,
That
I
is
know.
fantastic.
Hard to believe. I tell people I'm only 40, but
Baby with a fish.
He's busy.
So how would you describe your experience as a restaurant owner in Indianapolis?
well, it's kind of funny. Sometimes I don't even know if I feel like I'm a restaurant owner because we actually are in the seafood business. We have a seafood market in our stores, where you can come in and get the highest quality fish. And then years ago, we just decided we was going to start cooking fish and making dinners, and
Right.
we done a lot of business doing that. And
But
made a lot of-
your mind's still in that you're a market.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seafood market and restaurant. That's the way I talk about it all the time.
That's fantastic.
And my son, he and I worked together probably for about 16 years
Whoa.
at 56th Street. And then we were out of it for a little bit and then got back in it. And it's just a way of life now, And I'm more, the restaurant part of it's kind of fun. It's taxing. It's hard. But I like to go out and talk to the customers
Sure.
because they like to talk to owners. And you'll find out when you're doing something really good and when you're not.
Yeah.
And I think that talking to customers is one of the joys of the job for me. I'm not going to be back in the kitchen cooking fish and putting stuff together,
Right.
But thankfully we have great people that do that for us. I tell people that in the restaurant business or in business period, the most important thing is to have good people. If you don't have good people, you don't have anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, so that's what kind of gets you up every day, is to be able to have that type
Right.
of relationship. What's the longest term client that you've had? How long? I mean, there's got to be somebody that's been with you for years.
Well, yes, a lot of our customers
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
They were with us when we were over 50. And then before that, I started O'Malley's seafood program and Mr. D's. And
Oh, wow.
Going all the way back to Standard Grocery. That's when
Wow.
that's when I got in the business, 1975.
You've
so
got to be kidding me. All these names I recognize. Great fish all the time.
Yeah. And it's just when you're doing something at a level that we do it, we take a lot of pride in it.
Yes, sir.
And our customers take a lot of pride in what we do and what we serve them. And that is more exciting than, when you got a lot of people. I don't know. I always tell people we got to be one of the most, the social networking part of our business has got to be one of the busiest ones of anybody. And when you hear every once in a while we get one of those reviews that I just want to tear down a wall, and Andrew says, "Dad, take it easy, take it easy," But most of our reviews are great, and it makes you happy doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. So, what does your restaurant actually do to engage the customers and encourage them to leave reviews on Yelp?
Well, I think I don't know that there's actually anything in place.
Yeah.
We would I think they look around and they see other people taking pictures and putting things in, and we get a lot of reviews on Yelp
Cool.
and on our Facebook pages.
Yep. There's your Yelp review right there, and lots of 5 stars.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
2015 we were sitting at number 1.
This is your new location too. That's
Yeah,
now
and we
they
got-
got both that are up in the top.
Well, and this is going to be something exciting.
Yeah.
You may have Brittany may have talked to Andrew a little bit, but we're about 4 weeks or so out of another location.
They're just taking over the
It
list.
just kind of fell in our lap. We
Where?
actually haven't even signed the lease yet, but we're working on it. It's up in Whitestown, Indiana.
That's great.
And we're really excited about this area, and it's not going to have the meat in it. Now, up in Noblesville, the Kaplinger's Fresh Catch and Cuts, we sell Indiana raised beef, pork, lamb. We have Amish chicken along with the fresh fish in the restaurant. And we're in there with broccoli bills. So you got produce, you got natural born juicers up there, and there's going to be a bakery soon. So
It's a
it's like-
one-stop shop.
It really is. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
right.
So, I mean, he's springing this on you like right
Oh,
now.
I know. I'm like, I have ideas.
Well, I may be talking out my ear or two.
Andrew's
but
gonna be texting
we're,
me like,
we're really ahead of this thing, but we're pretty certain of it. Andrew's been out buying equipment and stuff for this new place.
It's grown
so-
like crazy. I remember when I met you guys when you opened the first restaurant. We threw a party with them back in the day,
Oh,
and
man,
it's just
that
been
was-
like this,
yeah.
like ever since.
wow.
Yeah, it was, and Yelp is a very, very, very huge part of that. Number one, they're a review. That's where people review.
Right.
A lot of the people that come into the city are hitting Yelp, and they tell me that. There's other reviews out there too, but Yelp was there from the beginning, and I think 2015 is when we got number one. And we've interacted with Yelp, and it's just been huge. And
That's fantastic.
yeah,
You guys are killing it.
They are, literally. So, I mean, sorry, it was there. I had to take
Little
a swing at it. Yeah. Well, I got a question for you. I mean, fresh fish fresh seafood in Indiana. Tell me how that happens.
How do
We're-
you do that?
Yeah, we're kind of.
well, you can look at some of the pictures. It's pretty impressive.
Oh my gosh!
A
look at that
lot of
salmon.
people, they'll come in if they've been in the East Coast or Florida, the West Coast or whatever, and
Right.
I know fresh fish. I'm from Boston.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I do too, and I'm from Indianapolis, But here's the thing with the way that they can fly fish in nowadays,
Sure.
you can have fresh fish anywhere.
That's beautiful.
And a lot of times, actually, the quality of our fish will be better than the quality of fish you might buy in Boston.
Really?
Because here's the deal. They know I used to buy from a guy directly in
Right.
Boston.
Right.
If he sends me fish that's bruised and has parasites in it and stuff like that,
Right.
he knows that he's going to get it back freight collect. Okay? And he's getting more money sending it to me in Indianapolis. Where do you think the fish is going to go?
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting the good stuff, and the other stuff staying there in Boston.
So basically, what you're saying is by Kaplinger's being here in Indy, we're sticking it to Boston Fish Market.
There you go.
I like that.
I always wanted to say that.
Calling you out, Boston. We're calling you out.
Exactly. Game on. Oh, fantastic. Well, I love seafood. What's your best cut of fish? And I mean, there's so many good pieces, but what's your favorite?
I like salmon. We sell all kinds of different salmon, but the Ora King salmon that we get in from New Zealand
Right.
is a king salmon. The omega-3 content, fat content, the health
Yeah.
of that fish. That's a picture of it right
Yeah,
up
I was
there.
looking at
you can
that.
see the fat rolling through the fish.
It's really pretty,
And-
which is odd.
It's very, very simple to cook.
Yeah.
It's healthy, and it just melts in your mouth like butter. Now,
Yes, it does.
that's in a restaurant we fry fish, which I love fried fish, shrimp, things like that. But that's probably one of our number one, stars.
And the best thing is it's a market. Is that you're not just a restaurant, not just you got to go there. You can bring that home, and so many times my family loves fresh fish. I mean, my daughter would eat that entire fillet. I mean, well, within reason. But I mean, she really would. I mean, we just love fresh fish. But there's not that many restaurants or markets where you can get that fresh fish. And there's Kaplinger's right there, man.
Here's the deal too.
Yeah.
We had a question about something special in our restaurant. You could eat at our place for probably 300 days in a row and never eat the same thing. Now we have a menu. Most of the people order off the menu.
Yeah.
But when you come in, Ore King's not on our menu. We have salmon, but it's not the Ore King.
Because it's moving.
We got sea bass. We got fresh Alaskan halibut running.
yeah.
You can stop and say, hey, V, get me 7 ounces of that fresh halibut. I want to get it grilled, and or get the big huge scallops or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
So you can come in there and eat
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
literally 300 days in a row and not have, and nobody can say that.
Wow.
Are you guys still teaching the fish classes? Fish classes?
We've kind of put that off because of being so busy.
Because you're opening another location.
This location just fell in our lap last week, and it's really wild. But just
Fingers
it's
crossed.
a time thing.
Oh, fantastic.
It's fresh news.
It is. There's a pun right there. Thanks so much. Well, what about the sandwich, the Kaplinger sandwich special that you have, the combo? Tell us about that.
Well, I don't know if they've got a picture of it or not, but the Kaplinger special it was voted #1 sandwich in Indiana, or fish sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's a great big filet on a homemade bun. The buns are our recipe. We have a baker here in Indianapolis that bakes them for us fresh every day.
Oh, man.
We blend our own tartar sauce. We blend our own remoulade and cocktail sauce and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Our breading is ours. All the sides is ours. What a combo is, you can get the sandwich with lettuce, onion, pickle, tomato, and tartar sauce. Any of that, none of that, all of that, part of that. One side and a drink, and that's what's called a combo.
Yep.
Then we have dinners with the Kaplinger special dinner. You would get 2 pieces of the fish, 2 sides, 2 hush puppies, and sauce. And
You guys make your own hush puppies too?
no, we don't.
Okay.
But there's about 2 or 3 things on our menu that we don't make. But we've been very,
I bet they're good.
very diligent
I
about.
bet they're good.
Our French fries, they got a coating on them, which you can't. They look like little fried potatoes. And then they're called buffalo chips. And then our okra comes breaded, and the hush puppies. People love our hush puppies.
I bet.
There's people that'll buy an extra order of hush puppies. They said those are good, and the key is having good food. If you have good food, you build it, they will come.
So they say.
Right.
And honestly, if you share it, they will come as well. And so, keep on giving great reviews to Kaplingers. You can go see them over on their Yelp page, and you can check that out. You can also go to the site, KaplingerFreshCatch.com. Nick, any last words for business owners in Indianapolis?
On the spot.
Restaurant business is a very tough business.
Yes, sir.
And my advice to people who want to be in it is have quality food, and don't start skimping. Don't start looking to cut corners, because you can taste it when you do, and people know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then have we're blessed with great employees, and we offer great service, smiles. We talk to people when they come in. People realize that, and they tell me that they're thankful for that. Those little things that you might not have, a clean bathroom. That tells you what you think of your customer.
Absolutely.
Little things like that people may or may not think about. You don't think about it until you go in, and it's not right. But that's my advice to
absolutely.
business.
Have you noticed, just to finish up, have you noticed maybe a change in Indianapolis customers appreciating fresh fish more?
Oh yeah. I'm the longest person in this business in Indianapolis.
So you got a really good vantage point there.
When I go back to the day when I started, and I was down at 38th and Sherman selling buffalo perch and catfish.
Right.
And I didn't, back then, I had just gotten out of high school. I didn't know a fish from a pork chop, So I had to learn that. but the market has changed. People's, especially with cooking channels and food blogs and all the ratings that people get nowadays.
Sure.
And it's really kind of cool to see how important it is because people take picture of their food and they're so proud
They're
of it.
excited.
Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, we certainly wish you all the best and good luck in the next years to come. You are going gangbusters, man. And congrats to being in business for 38 years. That's fantastic. And with a third on the way, I mean, you got to be a proud papa, so to speak.
Yep.
Excellent.
We're working on the fourth.
I can't stop.
Come back and
Wow.
Come back and
And it
tell
will
us when
be
you
a
got that.
historic kind of thing here downtown.
Oh, very cool.
If we do it.
Oh boy.
Wow. All right. Well, we've got to come see you. For all the fish fans at Site Strategics on Edge of Indy, we got to come see you.
Don't be in a rush.
No. Okay.
Stay a while.
We're not fast food. We're good food.
All right.
Worth the wait.
Well, very good.
That's
Well,
what we say.
That's right.
thanks so much, Nick. And that's Kaplinger's Fresh Catch and Cuts. Go check them out over at their website and their Yelp address there. Just check them out and see where they are. They're up in Noblesville and Indianapolis. And they're going to be nailing it here, fresh fish regularly. So what a great staple here in Indianapolis. All right. We're going to be coming up. We're going to be talking to 3 Carrots. Ian Phillips, the owner here. Another Yelp success story. Coming up right after this.
This is Edge of Indy, showcasing Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Now, let's get back to today's topic.
All right, hey, we're back, and we're going through a number of restaurants that made it to Yelp's top 50 restaurants to eat in Indianapolis, and we're proud to be able to bring on another restaurant that made that list, 3 Carrots, and the owner is Ian Phillips. Ian, how you doing today?
Good. How's it going?
Very good. We're having a great time. I'm getting really, really darn hungry.
You should have eaten before.
I know. Well, Ian, tell us about yourself and about 3 Carrots.
I don't know. Yeah, so I guess I've personally been vegan, I guess, for 20 years, or more than 20 years now. And when I was in college, I enjoyed working in restaurants, but I was never a big fan of dealing with the meat and cheese. And but then I'd never thought that like running a vegan restaurant would be possible. So I did some other things instead. And then fast forward, I guess, to I don't know, like 7 years ago, I was disenchanted with graduate school, and I was like, I want to start cooking for people, and I started just doing some personal events and private events, seeing if I liked it, and we started making seitan, which is a vegetarian protein made from wheat. We started selling that to grocery stores and restaurants through the city, and we were able to save up some money doing that, and then we opened 3 Carrots in July of 2014.
Yeah.
And and ever since then we opened to lines up the door, and it's been pretty crazy ride ever since, I guess.
So how long have you been part of the community? You've had the restaurant for 3 years, but for Indianapolis at large, how long have you been here?
Oh, I grew up in Noblesville, then I moved to Bloomington, and then I moved back up in Indianapolis in like 2004. So I kind of like knew. I mean, that was part of one of the reasons why I started 3 Carrots, because you go to like other cities, Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
You go to Chicago, but you go to like even kind of like middle-sized Midwestern cities that would have like a vegetarian restaurant or a vegan restaurant or 2, and I'd go there and I'd be like, why does Indianapolis not have this? And I just like totally just like serendipity, I guess, like just happened to be doing the right thing at the right time. And because like I saw like this is sort of where things are moving. There's no reason that Columbus, Ohio can have 2 vegetarian restaurants and Indianapolis can't have any. So at that point in time, I was like, well, I guess like, and I got kind of good at it. And I was like, well, I guess we should do this thing and move on.
So obviously, and that was pretty new to Indianapolis, right? So Indianapolis has embraced your restaurant with open arms, and you said lines out the door, right?
Yeah. We've been really fortunate. Like being at the city market gives us kind of a lot of opportunities and sort of like a captive audience, I guess. But but then also too, it's like,
Only if you lock the doors.
but also too, this is where if you look at like food trends and what people are eating now, people are way more open and like I don't think if I started this back up when I moved back up to Indianapolis in 2004, we would have been successful at all. But I think like the way things are moving, the way people's diets are changing, the way that they're consuming food is totally either people are more people are, even if they're not going vegan or going vegetarian personally, they're more open to vegan and vegetarian food and up to new experiences. And I think like at the end of the day, kind of quality food and good service wins out. And so people can come in and they don't have to be vegetarian. Most of the people who come to 3 Carrots aren't vegetarian, but they are just happy to have good food and they're not as worried about, they don't need a meat and potatoes type meal. They just want something that tastes good. And that,
Absolutely.
That's
So have you noticed, I think where we're going here is you're noticing a health conscious Indianapolis more than ever before.
Yeah.
And especially with carbohydrates and just understanding that low carb is a pursuit, and you should be eating jettisoning sugars on a regular basis, and you gotta eat mindfully, right?
Yeah.
Your product, what you serve is smack dab exactly what the doctor ordered, right?
Yeah. So we're not like a health food restaurant by any means. We have some stuff that
of course.
And that's my thing is that we sell a bunch of cheesecakes and like vegan cheesecakes and cookies and stuff, and like those
that exists.
Yum.
Yeah.
They're good.
Pretty good too. And those aren't healthy. Like we're not trying to be health food in that regard. But also too,
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But at the same time too, it's one of those things where for me, like I enjoy personally eating a good salad and a well constructed salad, and so to be able to go to a restaurant and actually get a salad that I'd want to eat that's not just some iceberg lettuce with some carrots thrown on top and croutons, and they got to put bacon and cheese and ranch dressing on it to force anybody to swallow it down.
Right.
Yeah, to camouflage it,
camo,
but really it's like how do we use vegetables that and what techniques can we use to make these things that people don't typically seek out? Like what do we do to them to make them a food that people want to eat and an experience people want to have? And I think like that is the challenge of vegetarian and vegan cooking, but that's also like the fun opportunity in it is like it's like how do you make food that people want to eat out of ingredients that they would normally try to avoid.
Absolutely.
Good way of saying it.
Very well said.
So you're certainly doing some success here. And what advice would you give? We're asking this of all the restaurant owners. If somebody came up to you, hey, I want to start a new restaurant, what advice would you give them?
Don't.
He's the most honest.
It's a lot of work. No, I think you have to know your market. You have to know what you're doing, who your customers are, and you have to figure out like what they want. And you also then like once you have that stuff sort of figured out, you have to be like, what's my point of view? Like, what's my perspective? How am I coming at this thing? And how am I providing something that they can't get other places? Like, we even deal with that a lot. Like in terms of like, there's some menu items that we could do that would be like, but they're too standard. Like it's stuff like that you can get at any restaurant that happens to be vegetarian. Like that's why we don't have like a black bean burger on the menu.
Right.
And it just is like, and for me, it's like what are you going to do to set yourself apart? And so you have to have like a vision, like know your market, have a vision, and then like be able to execute it as good as you can.
You got to find the gap that somebody else isn't doing and really be able to get in there and do it right.
Yeah.
Do it well, right?
Totally. I think like that's what you're seeing. With this Yelp Top 50, it's like, and that's the way you're seeing is that it's not, a lot of what people want is like, is places that excel at their craft.
Yes, sir.
And if you do a really good job having a concept and you can really demonstrate that, then people will seek out what you're trying to do.
I love it. How does your restaurant engage its customers to be able to get, encourage them to have some Yelp reviews?
We do a lot on Facebook and Instagram, and we do a little bit on Twitter, not as much. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram are really easy as far as like engaging with our customers. And we really try to put ourselves try to really help people identify with like who we are, like who our employees are, you know, like we feel comfortable to share some things that might be, you know, that help people engage with us a little bit more. And then, you know, occasionally, I mean, like we tell people on Yelp, we have like stickers and stuff. It's like we do really well on Yelp. I'm not certain if we necessarily direct people.
We don't usually actually encourage them to encourage reviews. It's more authentic. And if
Yeah.
they had a good experience, it happens rather than like, write a review, write a review.
yeah.
Because then it feels a little spammy and gross.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so totally, and
Just throw that in there.
Yeah, and so yes, we don't do we just let out that we're on Yelp, but then at the same time too, it's like for people who are vegetarian or vegan, if they're coming from out of town,
Right.
Like I know this from my own personal experience, like Yelp is a great resource, and so you know, so if you look at our Yelp reviews, I mean like a decent amount from Indianapolis, but then a bunch of people are like, I came here from San Francisco and I was blown away, or I came here from New York, and you know, and sort of that stuff you do start.
You certainly got a lot of 5-star reviews right there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Bang, bang, bang. So you're noticing a number that are out of towners that are coming in and giving you a really nice review.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you have any kind of restricted diet, you're probably going to try to find places that do it right. And I think, you know, there are enough people, I mean, especially coming downtown who are coming in from out of town or coming in for events or for like conferences and stuff, or just people driving through. Like I know when I'm like on road trips and stuff and I'm going from Indianapolis to Austin, Texas, I'll be like, well, what is a good vegan restaurant like on the way between here and there? And so we do get a lot of people coming in, but then, you know, we also have a pretty decent set of regulars who we see, you know, a couple times a week too.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, you have there's a unique side of this of your restaurant. You've got no walls. You got no brick and mortar.
Yeah,
you're in the market. So what's all that about? I mean, it's unique. It's a unique experience. Tell us about that.
I mean, that was really cool. I mean, you know, one of the really nice things about it is that, I mean, we're actually in talks of building a brick and mortar right now. And that's a really expensive proposition. You have to have a lot of money to do it. And a really nice thing about the city market and being there is that, I mean, we were able to build out for $10,000, and we were able to, you know, like I paid all that in cash. Like, you know, like I was able to save up for that, and I didn't have to go. And it was especially nice when you're dealing with a completely new concept that, you know, like because I was trying to open a brick and mortar restaurant before we opened the city market, and I'd go and be like, well, this is what I think is going to happen. You know, like I think we could do this.
Sure.
But no, it's not. I mean, it's nice because I'm like, no, we can do this. We've demonstrated that we have done it.
Proof of concept.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, and just being afforded that opportunity. I mean, I'm really super every day. I'm really thankful for the city market for giving us this opportunity, because it's been with very little overhead that we've required to do this. We've really been able to, you know, put a lot away, save some money for newer developments, and also being able to just being able to open and kind of not have to spend $300,000 to get.
Plus, when you go to City Market, you are hungry. You are going there with the mission to eat. Versus if you're at a brick and mortar, you can drive by and you can decide not to go. But when you're there,
and it's also really cool.
It's a qualified customer.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's so many awesome people there too. I mean, you know, Cindy and Roger from Circle City Sweets and Circle City Soups. Brad Gates is there, who's like worked in every major New York City restaurant. You know, you have the Fermenti Artesian guys. You have, you know, You Relish Farms next to us. I mean, the tamale place. Like, there's so many other cool vendors that you get to learn to have like relationships with. You can bounce ideas off of, and just like as a professional network, it's really nice to have too. And there's so many talented people in there that not only can you learn from your own experiences, but you can also it's a wonderful wealth of knowledge just being there too.
Fantastic. So last question, in your ways of marketing, have you seen social media being a huge push for the success of your company?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. We don't take out advertisements. Like we've never paid. I mean, maybe we should. But, we've never
it's
paid.
going pretty well. Okay.
Yeah. We've never paid for like any newspaper advertisements or whatever. And then and just I mean, the thing is too is that I mean, is once again when you understand who your customers are and you can connect with them and you can make them feel like a personal engagement into what you're doing, like then like your success becomes their success, and they become vested in what you're doing, and they start to kind of root for you, you know. And so I think for us, like being able to be on like social media and stuff really gives us an opportunity to really connect with a lot of people and to not only get the word out, but also like let people know like what we're about too, because we have a perspective as far as the business is concerned,
right,
that we like to share with people when we can. And so being able to reach out and connect with people and have it be meaningful and not just like, hey, check out our specials, but really like, which we do, but but at the same time, it's like we're able to engage about important topics and important issues and let people kind of know like and help people feel more like it's a family and it's an environment, it's supportive and not just and not just a business. We try to connect.
I'm seeing a common thread here as we're talking to different restaurants, and these top restaurants here all are very focused on their relationship with their customers, and it's not cliche, it's real.
Yeah, no, I mean no matter like if you have great food, if you seem cold or you don't connect with people, I mean, there's plenty of other places to go get a sandwich. And so you really have to do things to separate yourself out from everybody else. And I think part of that and part, is like treating everybody like a human being and treating everybody like they have needs that need to be met. And we're there for whatever we can, however we can make somebody's day better. That 5 minutes they're eating the sandwich or whatever, that's like an important 5 minutes for them. And that's an important, we take every dollar we make as a big deal because people are choosing to give us a dollar that they worked hard to make instead of somebody else. So really, totally like you have to be, I just know from my perspective too, it's like, I want this restaurant to be the restaurant that I want to go to. Like I'm always viewing our service and our food through the lens of the customer and through the lens of somebody who's coming there and being like, and so we always, is this good enough to sell? Do we feel comfortable selling this? Would I pay this much for this? And if I don't, or if I wouldn't, then we don't sell it.
Like, make the cut. Yeah, absolutely. Well, any final thoughts as a restaurant owner and making the top 50 list of Yelp?
Any final thoughts? Thanks.
And he drops the mic.
Yeah, we do. If I can do, we do have. We are planning on opening a brick and mortar restaurant here in Fountain Square, and we're still in the meetings for that. We will be having on Monday at the City Market this following Monday, April 3rd. We're going to be having a dinner where we're going to preview some of that menu. So that will be from 5 to 8 on April 3rd. There's a Facebook event page on that. If you can look it up our Facebook page, facebook.com/3carrots. It'll be on there. There's also Indianapolis Veg Fest is coming up in the month of April. I forget the date. I'm terrible with dates off the top of my head. Yelp is also co-sponsoring that, but it should be awesome. A bunch of different vegetarian and vegan vendors are going to be there, and it's going to be a great experience. And I think it's really going to be beer and food and games, and it's going to be awesome. So
fantastic. All right, well, certainly pay attention to 3 Carrots and the new restaurant that's going to be coming up. Congratulations to your success.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks for being part of the show.
Of course, thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. We're certainly looking forward to those events and seeing the future of 3 Carrots. And who knows, if you ever want to explore advertising, we'll be happy to talk to you.
We know some people.
Podcasts.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Next on deck, we're going to be talking to Goose the Market with Chris Ely coming up right after this.
This is Edge of Indy, showcasing Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Now, let's get back to today's topic.
So, if you weren't hungry enough with the restaurants that we have interviewed tonight, and this is the special edition of Yelp's top 50 restaurants in Indiana.
That's right. Places to
Indiana.
eat. Places to eat
in Indiana. Right. Our final restaurant is we're a fan of, and they're kind of right down the street from us in downtown Indianapolis. That's Goose the Market, and we have Chris
Ely. Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. Chris,
no worries.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Happy to be here.
Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Myself? Well, I don't know where to start. I grew up as a cook. Pretty much my entire life.
Oh, cool.
I've just cooked in restaurants and hotels, became a chef, and always been in food. I don't think I've had any other paying job besides being in food, except for maybe at Paper Route, mowing lawns. So pretty much always been around food, involved with food in some way or another. Opened a butcher shop in 2007.
I like the cut of your jib, sir.
Goose the Market, and had that for almost 10 years now. And then
Fantastic.
6 years now we've had Smoking Goose. So, and that's a production facility where we produce charcuterie and cured meats and salumi. Yeah.
Be still my heart.
Let's give him a second.
Wow. So Smoking Goose, where is Smoking Goose exactly?
We're at Dorman in Vermont, in the Holy Cross neighborhood, east side downtown.
Okay.
Right across from
Yeah.
Flat 12,
Right
you can get
across
beer
from
and
12.
meat.
Literally.
Right across
Stop.
the street. Yeah.
Literally about 10
Yeah.
minutes away from us.
Yeah. Very close.
I am going to have you in the crosshairs from now on, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
I mean, literally,
The
that's
good
fantastic.
crosshairs.
The good
Right.
crosshairs.
That's good.
Good thing we changed our logo. So Goose is over here on Delaware,
Yes, sir.
25th
Fifth
in Delaware.
yeah, northeast corner.
Okay, very good.
Our team is there all the time.
I know. I've seen you.
Yeah, we love it. And the counter that you have there with all of the meats.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the meats.
Oh,
They
yeah.
Arby's has nothing
all
on
of
Goose.
Right.
You know, why that type of it's not deli style. I mean, it is, but
Why
it is.
meats?
Why meats?
No, that will never come out of my mouth. No. I'm okay with that. But I mean, what brought you to that type of restaurant?
Well, first of all, yeah, we definitely like to think of ourselves as more of a butcher shop, and charcuterie and cheese retail. But then, obviously, we do have a great service component of sandwiches and small plates and that sort of thing.
Yep.
The idea, really, I mean, it's based around a neighborhood butcher shop. I mean, the heart of it is the place that you would stop on a near daily basis for meats, charcuterie, cheese, anytime you're entertaining. And that's that's kind of how we got to where we were. I mean, the focus for me was on the butchering, the smoking, and the curing of the meats. I did it very heavily in restaurants. Put in a lot of plans in restaurants to do these types of things. It's just much more difficult to do it successfully in restaurants.
Right.
And I saw an opportunity to be able to do that on a retail, old school. I mean, it was, when we opened up, we lived above the market. I mean, it's true mom and pop. I mean, like, it was old, right on the corner. It's just, really the ideal way we thought a butcher shop should be. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I know you because literally I actually signed the lease to this building in your basement.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. there's
Fond memories.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's plenty of wine and beer involved. Right?
Absolutely.
maybe
My signature was a
afterwards.
little bit static.
Yeah,
there.
maybe a little afterwards.
So how is owning a restaurant? 10 years and going strong.
Yeah.
How's your experience?
Oh, it's great. I love it. I mean, I get to do, well, I don't always get to do what I want to do, but I mean, basically, I get to try to do what I want to do with my time. And I really enjoy it. Honestly, I mean, what I really enjoy the most are obviously the people, the hospitality. I love like the culture of the butcher shop. I love like the culture of the neighborhood. I love seeing the neighborhood grow. We came into Fall Creek Place when it was under the urban redevelopment plan.
Yep.
It was kind of right in the middle of it. I've seen a lot of these families grow up in the neighborhood, come in with no kids or very, very young kids, and been able to watch them grow up. And in the Smoking Goose, it's just a whole nother deal because not only Indiana, but we also, are throughout the country. So it's enabled me to get involved in other communities, other food scenes, work with other people, and it's been a lot of fun. It's not always fun, but it's overall I really love it.
Well, what kind of advice would you give somebody who comes to you and says, "Hey, Chris, I want to open a restaurant"?
Yeah, typically. And because it happens quite often.
Now, Ian says don't.
Don't.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely. I mean, you used to say, it's like, how about you give me $100,000? I'll punch you in the face and call it a day. And that was like pretty much, that'll just save you the time, right? I try not to anymore. I try not to anymore because, I mean, what I try to analyze, I think, when I talk to people about it, is really try to get the difference between passion and desire.
Yeah.
Passion, people have the passion; they love food. Like somebody I heard earlier said something about, if your wife likes to cook. Well, like, everybody has a passion for. I mean, you need to eat. You like food in some way or another, and a lot of people have a passion for food, right?
Sure.
But passion's fleeting. You know, like passion doesn't get you through like 14-hour days, long kitchen, and then you have people, you know, leaving bad reviews for you on Yelp. You know, so it's like those are tough days, and it's like the only way you get that kind of day is with the desire to make it work. I mean, that's the kind of thing that's gonna like get you past this point of like, oh, I like to cook, I like food. Well, that's nice, but it's like, you know, are you really willing to put up with all the other stuff you have to deal with? Because you know, like even in my life. I probably get to spend like 10% of my time actually doing something with charcuterie, right? And the other 90% of the time, I'm either like somebody's counselor, or I'm like, you know,
you're playing the dad at the restaurant,
facilities maintenance.
I was gonna say, or you're fixing something,
fixing something, trying to keep somebody out of jail, or you know, trying to find product that's not there, or trying to, you know, fix mistakes, something we screwed up. And really, only 10% of my time, if that even. Do I get to like actually, you know, do what I set out to do?
That ain't right.
Right. I know.
What percent of the time do you eat gelato?
I don't know. You know, I've been eating ice cream like crazy lately. Like, not even just gelato, but I've been eating all kinds of ice cream. It's like, I don't know. I never used to be a sweets person, but now I have kids, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like.
Even the really bad stuff looks good. Everyone, you know, some of those ices and what have you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Bomb pops, my son's.
Don't call them out. Don't call it.
Yeah. So there's gelato quite a bit.
Even push-ups, you know. Anyway.
Oh, push-ups.
Yep.
Oh man,
That's a throwback.
like high school.
Yeah.
Middle school.
They still make them.
Right.
right.
Oh yeah. They're
Orange
good.
sherbet.
Yep.
Yep.
The Flintstones.
Yep.
The wheels have gone off the bus here. You realize that, Chris.
Bring it
Oh
back.
yeah.
Thanks a
I
lot,
realize that. Yeah. No, my pleasure.
So, pronounce the word again. Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Okay, and I actually have a little placard in my desk, but for charcuterie.
Charcuterie,
But for listeners who don't know what that is, just give us the explanation.
It's basically like the preservation of meat. So this can be through curing, drying, aging. Typically, and sometimes it does involve heat, but it doesn't always. It's kind of the first known, record of us trying to preserve meat before refrigeration. So that's kind of how it started.
Right.
And now it does involve some cooking. But essentially, you know, with the focus, obviously the focus is the meat itself and the animal itself. There's a huge amount of respect for the animals and how they're raised. It kind of harkens back to the idea that, you know, respect the people before you in the process, so the farms, the producers, the animals themselves. It's also all about being more resourceful and using the entire animal and not just focusing on, you know, just the center cuts of the animal. That's better, you know, better utilization of the animal. So it's kind of like the idea, the kind of the history behind it. Now, you know, what you see mostly, you'll see charcuterie boards much more common on restaurant menus. Hopefully those mostly are charcuterie, and hopefully we can provide it if you don't have that on there right now. But you know, that's so aging meats, curing meats, and I mean the great thing about it is. It does, you know, has the shelf life. I mean, just by the you know the nature of how it's produced, it has a nice shelf life.
Look at that.
There's some
Look at the meat.
There you go. The mustard too.
Yeah. So yeah,
Fantastic.
That's it.
good stuff.
We had the opportunity to be at a charcuterie restaurant in northern part of Indiana last year, and I brought my family to it, and I got 4 kids. And they actually had a charcuterie with a boar's head, half boar's head on it as well. And it was so well done. It was fantastic. And, you know, some listeners, watchers are probably going, okay, what in the world are they talking about here? Yeah. It was fantastic. And the restaurant owner was so impressed with my kids. My 7-year-old was literally eating an eyeball.
Really?
It was awesome.
Right.
But it was fantastic, and it was just a work of art.
Yeah.
All of the different pieces, all the cheeses, all the different touches that it had, and you could see how much pride they had in what. So it's not a lost art. It's an art that is really gaining some great notoriety right now.
Right. It's really never gone away. It's just, it's always been there, always will be there. That's the nice thing about it. Because although it may be really popular right now, it's not one of these things that's going to be gone in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully this is only the beginning of it. So,
well, I got another question for you. Before moving to Indianapolis, you and your wife opened 12 restaurants in less than 6 months. Is that correct?
Not my wife was actually a counselor growing up. Her background's in counseling. So I did for other companies. So I was part of what's called a task force for a restaurant company, so opening new restaurants and then also going into restaurants that weren't doing so well within the company. So I opened quite a few like that. Opened two here in Indianapolis for a local gentleman.
Wow.
And then I opened 4 restaurants within 3 months on the north side of Chicago. So I did a lot of it. There for a while, that's pretty much, for about 6 years, that's really all I did. Almost, every 6 months or so was in the process of opening other restaurants for other people. And then, that's kind of what led me to the point. One, I knew I didn't want to open a restaurant. That was for myself. I had seen too many people, not do so well. And so I said, well, if it's going to be my money or my name on it, like, I'm not going to be one of those people. And then I kind of really, that's kind of how I picked more of this butcher and retail side of things, is that I got tired of doing it for other people. I got tired of this like constant drive to open restaurants for other people. I did enjoy it at the time, but it's also really not great for your personal life, and if you're ever going to have a family. So it's kind of, it was all kind of just the right time, right place, and just.
That's a whole other skill set in its own right. I mean, be able to help and bootstrap and give guidance to restaurant owners to start up those. I mean, tip of the hat to you, man. So what's the difference between, what do you see as a perceivable difference between restaurants in Indianapolis and Chicago?
Well, I think really kind of the nice thing about being so close to Chicago is we are fed quite heavily, both from the talent, the people that are coming from Chicago and moving either back home or just happen to be regionally close. But it's also a great place for people in Indianapolis to go and learn, whether it's a stage, a one-day cooking experience up there, they go up 2 days, or even just to go up and eat. It also helps educate the diner in Indianapolis, being able to go to, it was always New York City. It was like New York City, San Francisco. I mean, this kind of was that was it for like the longest period of time.
Right.
And, really Chicago didn't start to, I'd say like early 2000s when Chicago really started becoming big on the scene in terms of the restaurant. It was steak and potatoes like Indianapolis was up until early 2000. They had some very classic restaurants. True has been there for a long time.
Right.
Obviously there was Trotter's Place was there. So there was always a few, handful of these, but the number of restaurants now, I mean, just the number, like the sheer number of restaurants opening and honestly closing as well, but just the amount of talent there has really kind of, I would almost say it's rivaled New York, maybe possibly exceeding it. So now we have like within 3 hours, we have a place that people not only can experience, fine dining, casual dining, all different types of concepts,
right,
but we also have a lot of talent coming out of there. So it's not just you have to travel to New York City or San Francisco for that experience. So I think it's been a great influence on, I mean, I don't know that Indianapolis' dining scene would be where it is today if Chicago hadn't also kind of stepped
open
into
the
this.
door.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. But you're seeing a huge rise in the food culture here in Indianapolis, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's it's been great to see it. It's kind of one of those things. I think if you would ask somebody in the early 2000s if this would ever happen in Indianapolis, they would have absolutely said no. And it's really cool to see it now, because even some of the people that were like the pioneers, like Peter George, that really, he was extremely successful and kind of, did hit a tough spot there.
Right.
And a lot of people said, hey, these places just can't make it. I mean, he's opening places now, and they're extreme. There's 2 on, I think you have 2 on the list.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 of his places are on the list again.
Festiva.
So, he took, I don't know, maybe 10 years off or so, and was doing some other things, but he's the kind of guy that, he's bringing new stuff to the city and some great places. So.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, we certainly applaud your success, and we're certainly going to keep on coming over there from Site Strategics and partaking. And I got to check out the Smoking Goose. I absolutely have to.
Get those locker sales on Saturdays.
Yeah,
sometimes.
once a month.
That's a good deal. You go in there, go crazy.
Great. That's great.
I absolutely will.
Yeah.
So, lastly, what does your restaurant do to engage with its customers and encourage them to leave reviews on Yelp?
Just
Delicately.
high quality service. I mean, Dan, that's what we're all about. I mean, if there's nothing that we stress the most, is that it's the customer experience. And for us, the focus is anticipating the guest needs. I mean, it's all this thing. All it is they are a guest in our house, and just we want to treat them like a guest, and we want them to be impressed. We want them to have a great time. And if we continue to do that, then we're doing our job. But that's really our focus. I mean, anybody can cook, anybody can cut meat, anybody if you really want to. But it's all about creating an exceptional experience,
Absolutely.
and that's what our how we would encourage people. I mean, I encourage just through the word of mouth. So
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think that's what we're coming across with everybody's interviews today. I mean, that's the common thread is that, and for restaurateurs that are looking to make the list, don't encourage.
Just do your job
just
well.
do your job well, and it will absolutely. Your customers know where Yelp is.
Yeah,
they know the uses of Yelp, and just do your job. Show the care and the love that and the passion that you have in this industry, and it's certainly going to show up on your behalf in the Yelp positionings there. Fantastic. Well, any final thoughts for our the culinary realm of Indianapolis?
Oh, I really enjoyed this today. I mean, the culinary realm of Indianapolis, I can't wait to see what's coming. It's going to be really exciting.
Cool.
There's just a lot of talented people here. I mean, if anything, the one thing that we're missing and that we could reach out to are the young cooks. We just don't have enough cooks in the city.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that want to open restaurants and that have great restaurants, but everybody's struggling to find cooks, and we're just not doing enough to support that next generation. So really, to see this last any longer than another 10 or 15 years, we really need to figure out what we're going to do with the next generation.
So how can we figure out a charcuterie Friday relationship with Goose and Site Strategics?
Hey, we're open every Friday.
Because Matt,
you know where to find them.
Yeah, we're there every Friday.
Absolutely.
You can also order our products online. We'll ship it, and there you go. But yeah,
I really want you to ship it. I want a courier over here.
Oh yeah.
So we can literally have a great series of pieces of meat for the entire team.
A meat feast.
I think they'd really enjoy getting out at 11 every Friday, not having to come back.
Well, you might actually going out now.
You guys can just come over and hang out.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Drink the rest of the day. We'll get you taken care of.
Okay, so we're going to finish up the show. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris, and I appreciate your time today. And we'll certainly, since we're neighbors, we'll certainly jog over there regularly.
Yeah.
So. Good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, more than welcome, and congrats for all your success. All right, that's what we've got as a wrap for this show. Brittany Smith, thank you so much for being able to bring everybody together. This was a red letter day for Edge of Indy. Made me very, very hungry.
I should have brought food with me.
Time to eat.
Yeah, that was one demerit is that I didn't see one plate come up. Now we've had a lot of steak companies.
Should have told us.
Yeah.
It was in the invite.
I didn't want to encourage, right?
Authentic experience.
Exactly.
Right.
Now they know for next time.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, Brittany, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for having all of us.
We certainly want to get plugged into these restaurants. Absolutely. So go check out the list at Yelp Indianapolis and look at all top 50. Go experience all top 50. Make this part of your next 6 months to go out and check out these restaurants. Mm-hmm. They certainly earned it. They show their passion. They show their love of what they do. So partake, I mean, this is the food culture of Indianapolis. It's on the rise, and be part of it. So choose local and choose it often. How about that? So that's a wrap for Edge of Indy. Thanks so much for everybody sharing today. It's a red letter day of sharing on the stream. And check us out next week as we focus more on local Indianapolis on Edge of Indy. Take care, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.